Welcome to the dungeon.
With your host,
Stadia and
Andy Dandy,
Shay Shay and Andy Dandy.
aka the Mamba X.
Yeah, that's us. That's us.
How are you,
I
my
feel
friend?
like
How are you?
I feel like we're in a mood. Or at least I am.
I can
Um,
tell. I can tell.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited and nervous for this episode because we had like so much success and feedback and excitement around the first two episodes, which were very heavily on YWAM. And now we're like doing a U-turn into what we actually wanted to talk about this entire time, you know?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting though. Like we explained that we don't want it on the podcast to be YWAM orientated, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like people are interested in these stories.
Well, yes, but also I feel like people really need the platform to talk about things. And
Yeah,
actually, like, if you're listening, let us know because this is something that I've been thinking about. I feel like some people have been saying they want to be on the podcast, but half because they want to share their story, and half I feel like is because they want to just talk, and there's no space to talk about YWAM trauma.
yes, that's true.
So we would love to know, like, what do you need that space to talk? Because it would be kind of cool to create that too. I don't know exactly the details or whatnot, but it is something that we could facilitate, right?
No, um,
No, no, or yeah, yeah.
we I'm trying to explain something. Let me gather my thoughts. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, based on some of the feedback we have been getting, like people are ex-YWAMers are even interested, understand, to come on the
Mm-hmm.
platform to share their experience also. And that's a plus for us, because that's what we want, people to share their
Yeah.
experience. And your experience may not be the same as mine, you
Mm-hmm.
understand, but it's your experience, let's share it. But I think like we can think about that because we still have to check the motives of people, like because we know the reason why. Like for us it was just an introduction to the
Mm-hmm.
podcast where we met, and then some things that occur, we did not go
Yeah.
into full details about everything, you understand,
No, there's
because we
so
want
many
to
more
be mindful.
stories.
Yes, so but we wanted to be mindful, and then the last podcast with the last episode we shared about just our leaving YWAM,
Yeah.
you understand. And so and so the dungeon is not just about even, it's not about us, it's not about Shay and Andy, it's not about our YWAM experience. It's about Jamaica and Curacao and the Caribbean region on a whole. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Like and that's gonna even, this next episode is gonna explain just how integral and how involved and how connected we are as a region, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because we share
This
so much
next episode is
similarities.
this episode.
Yeah, this one. That's what I say. This next episode, yeah, you're right. So let's
Yes.
go.
Yeah,
So
so
what is
we
it
are
gonna be
going to
about?
be talking about Carnival.
Carnival.
And the reason why, like, there's so many topics we want to talk about, but the reason why we decided on this topic in particular is because I was at Carnival here. Um, Literally, it ended this week, or no, last week.
Last week.
And I was sharing with you while I was there videos and pictures and stuff like that. And you were saying it's so different than, or it has its differences with Carnival in Jamaica.
Yes.
And I thought this would be a very great topic, especially since for us, Carnival ends the day before Ash Wednesday. And you were saying how for you guys it ends or it starts or it is around Easter, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Because for me, at first I thought all carnival happens around our carnival,
No, no,
including
no, no,
like
no.
Mardi Gras, but it's not the case.
No, it's not.
No.
Mardi Gras is in March,
No, Mardi
isn't
Gras
it?
ends the day before Ash Wednesday. Fat Tuesday, it's called. But Mardi Gras is American.
Yeah, Mardi Gras. Yeah. I
It's
know.
from New Orleans. New
I know that.
Orleans. Yeah. So before we go a little bit more into that, I mean, we already recapped the last previous episode, right? Anything else you wanted to say about the previous episode?
That it was a huge. I mean, it's the conversations after, Shay. Like
Mm-hmm.
people really listen and people really have thoughts, share their thoughts and stuff like that, and and we crave that, we crave to know, like, we putting out our content. I want your
Mm-hmm.
feedbacks, I want to know how it impacted you. You understand? Do you have um any similarities of such in
Yeah.
your life stories and stuff like that, so it's the conversations for me. It's the effort a listener would take, not just to listen but to want to comment, you understand, on the
Mm-hmm.
episode. And yeah, so that's a huge plus for me.
Yeah. And we've had long conversations with people, both you and I have, hours long, about their experiences and what this podcast has opened up for them. And that's a beautiful thing for me. Now, what I wanted to ask you is you shared like some very deep thoughts, deep things about your life that I haven't even heard before, right? Like,
Yeah.
how did it feel for you then, and how does it feel now, a week later?
Liberating.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that word because it was like most of those stuff was like a burden.
Yeah.
Like I've been like nobody know, and nobody would know if I like. Thing is, if you don't talk, nobody would know. And there's a lot of people just going like going out, just walking among us in the society and stuff like that, carrying. You cannot see it because they wear a smile, they wear that mask like
Mm-hmm.
very well. You understand? But deep down, like they are really not who that
Yeah.
mask portrayed to them to be. You understand? So it was liberating, and I felt like, it will even open up doors. I pray and I hope that it will even open up doors for persons to share their stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And we have people that are like literally eager to be on
to
this
to do
podcast.
so. Uh,
So, yeah, it is very liberating. And what's interesting for me is I've shared a lot of my story online in my business and stuff like that. But the the stuff that we share here, and I think also the type of people that's been listening, like the type of people we've been sending this podcast to, has been a bit deeper for me because I've shared my story, I think, publicly, but oftentimes publicly under the disguise that I hope nobody in my actual life will listen and hear.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the way we've been going about it and the way that I've even been challenging myself with this podcast in particular is I've been sending it to people that I actually care about and that their opinion matters to me. So
yeah,
that's been different. And so far, it's been nothing but love, some criticism, but definitely not hate, you know?
yeah. And just one to add one more thing. I mean, I'm currently Oh, like in the Will Smiths in the Smiths also entangled. I'm in an entanglement. I'm, I'm
Wait, what is this? I'm not even sure where this is going.
Shay, would you stop? Listen. So you don't want to carry like, or if you went through something like that, even in a relationship, it don't have to be a marital relationship, right?
Hmm.
A nasty breakup, like you have experienced both verbal and physical abuse. You have been cheated and stuff like that. You have been hurt, crushed. You feel like there's no more tomorrow for you.
Hmm.
You survived, and
Yeah.
life goes on, and you don't want to fall in love again. You don't want to marry or just to experience that's what that relationship brings to you again, right? And you
Hmm.
don't want to go into that with baggages from your past. You understand? So it
True.
it it won't be fair. You understand? To you nor your better half. You understand? Or the
Yeah.
person involved. So that's a great point to like stick a pin on.
Hmm.
Don't enter into something with baggage, man, with baggage from your past, man. Like it won't last.
I will add something to that though, because in the past, when people would say what you just said, even though I do think it's very important for me, coming from such a very strict Christian background, it would be, ooh, I would need to get myself fully perfect and get rid of all the baggage from the past in order to be in a relationship. And I think it can be both. You can be on your journey of letting go and at the same time be in a relationship with somebody that can support you in the process of letting go while that person is also letting go. Because at the end of the day, we're all letting go of shit and baggage, right?
But that's the key word, letting go. Like you don't want to
Yes,
keep
it
it.
needs to be
Yeah.
a conscious
Your
effort
decision.
and
Yeah.
ongoing effort in order for yourself to feel lighter, which then helps the relationship feels lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Carnival now. I was saying that I thought that all Carnival happened right before Ash Wednesday, right? And this is a
Yeah.
great story to enter into this. So then in 2009, I was in Barbados in July, early August, right before your
Yeah.
wedding. And somebody said that it's crop over time. And a guy from Guyana said, "You want to go?" I was like, "Sure, let's go." We took the bus and we went. As we're going, I'm starting to see the outfits are not what I expected. So here in Curacao, we have Carnival around right before Ash Wednesday. Then we have the harvest parade around Easter. It's the Easter Monday is always when this happens. So it's a harvest parade. When I heard crop over, I thought it was a harvest parade.
Yeah.
When I got there, all I saw was people twerking, which they call walk up. Basically, to me, it seemed like a porn movie. I was like a goody old two shoes Christian girl, and I was completely shocked, given that I was going with this Guyanese guy that was just like asking people for rides. We went into this random guy's house. It was just like a full on crazy experience for me. But that shows you the differences between the Caribbean islands.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the name though. Um.
Crop
What
over.
what Cap over here? Like is that's what they called it?
Yeah, that's what they call it. And it actually ties to the end of the sugarcane harvest, is what I found online, which
Oh,
is why
crop
it's called
over.
crop
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
Crop over.
And that's why I
Yeah.
thought it was harvest, you know. I thought it was a harvest parade because harvest parade is everybody like dressed in like long skirts. You know how the traditional Jamaican skirts are with the plait skirts and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have a version of that. and they
Oh,
dance around and thank God for the harvest, fully dressed. Nothing about dancing with each other. Everybody on their own.
it was that your first um experience with Carnival?
Actually, it was now that I think about it, because I'd never been to Carnival growing up or anything like that, even though it happens here every year.
Okay. And what do you know about Carnival then, like as in Curacao, as like as the culture, the origin, when did it started, and stuff like that?
They would tell you some things, but basically, I knew where the story was always going. It's evil, you don't need to go. Um, Stay away. That's it. And when it's Carnival, we have family days with the church.
Oh, the church was the one saying it's evil.
Oh, yeah, the church, youth groups, everybody that's a Christian is just bashing on Carnival.
But why evil? Why that word evil? You know? Why they choose
I
that word?
believe it, one, because I went to more of a Pentecostal-ish church. They were not associated with Assemblies of God, but they were practicing Pentecostal pretty much the same way. So, they, I think it has to do with it. It's so related to Catholicism, and it's also very much you party and then you ask for forgiveness the following day on Ash Wednesday, which is also the origins, European origins of Carnival.
Yeah. The French and the Spaniards, the Spanish brought Carnival to the Caribbean. However, then okay, fine. So um, I can see where the crap over is making sense even now as you speak, and I can see
Hmm.
where even and you're right. The Catholic Church has a lot. Like I mean, all right, the word carnival comes from the Latin word carne, meaning
Yeah.
meat, and veil, meaning farewell. So it's basically saying farewell, coming out of the Christmas season, that festive season, like it's time to just party, put on your shoes, and Carnival is in there, and so it ties in with Easter, the beginning of Lent, and traditionally in the Caribbean, it, is it just a Caribbean thing where
Uh,
they
li-
give up meat?
Wait, I think you're confusing things now, right? Because there's a European version of Carnival, and then there's the Caribbean version of Carnival. They
But
different.
but no, but it's not confusing because the European version of Carnival, like, trace back to the 18th century, right? So
Even before
that
that,
even before the 18th century.
5,000 years or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was brought to the Caribbean in the 1800. Okay, so their version of Carnival was like deep, dark, gothic, evil, and that's where even um because this podcast to me, to you, like, and we want
Hmm.
we want our audience to know that it's not just about, yeah, when we hear about Carnival, we talk about we see the pretty costumes, the partying, this the like, just the music, like the food, alcohol, and stuff like that, and it's just joy and fun,
Hmm.
but goes deeper than that,
Yeah.
and it goes deeper than that, and so the European version of Carnival was deep, dark, evil. You mentioned something. We were having this conversation like a week or so ago.
Hmm.
You was explaining to me, um, us other people, blacks. You understand
Hmm.
how we took Carnival, and the reason why. You understand um we take on Carnival in the way we take it on now. With just this dancing and the celebration and stuff like that. Would you want you remember that conversation?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I will go back to the origins in Europe though, because it's over 5,000 years ago that they started
Mm.
celebrating, and it was a way to celebrate the end of winter. Um, and also like people used to do it in order to celebrate the end of it. And they would eventually it started taking away form where people would wear scary ghosts, scary
Yeah,
masks
yeah,
to scare
yeah.
away ghosts, right? And then
Wait. You wear scary masks to scare away ghosts?
yeah,
You know what
because
they call ghosts in Jamaica? Duppy. I think that is scary stick there, isn't it? You know? You
duppy.
can't scare Duppy.
Oh, I never knew that. Here we have
Yeah.
different ways, different words for it. We call it zombie or
Zombie.
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 Zumbi, zombie.
Okay.
And during New Year's, we do it to scare away. Wait, what's the name for it? Fuku. The bad
Fuku.
energies for New Year's is called Fuku. So we do a lot of loud fireworks to scare away the Fuku.
So, okay.
So this is what I think is interesting too, right? Like because we from our perspective, we see a lot of indigenous practices coming from places like Africa, right? But even
Okay.
Europeans had their spirituality and their spiritual practices back in the day, indigenous ones. And I feel like the origins of Carnival is that it is a way to scare away ghosts by wearing scary masks.
But to, oh, all right then. Yeah, for it. All right. For them, say that. But for us,
Hmm.
what does carnival mean? You know, like,
Oh, wait
because
till I get there now.
it's celebrate. You know, okay, Shay. Well, yeah, you got it there. Chidi, but is that chidi? All right. Get me. Are we there yet?
No,
Let's
we're
go.
not there yet. So you had that happening.
Okay.
And then you had the Romans started adapting it, and then it became into the Catholic Church. And they would eat and drink perishables before they go bad, like that was part of it. But then they also started creating masquerades where they would wear masks and have these nice ball gowns and those type of things. That's where it turned into. And that was like more of their version of it. But then you also had versions where they would go in the streets and celebrate Carnival.
Okay.
Now, remember, the Africans were enslaved. They weren't allowed to go and have beautiful gowns and masks and stuff like that.
They couldn't
So
afford it, Shay.
not only couldn't afford it, they didn't have money. They couldn't access money. They were
And they couldn't
enslaved.
afford it. So what did they do?
They started celebrating their own way, and there's different versions of this throughout the Caribbean. You have places where they put oil on their body, molasses on their body, and just like was, celebrating their blackness using molasses, which at that time was a very valuable commodity.
Yeah.
You also had them, they do this in Trinidad too, and they still do this every year before Carnival starts, where they would make fun. Wait, this is not Trinidad even. This happens in different places. They would make fun of the older white ladies that had their masquerades, so they would either take their stuff and parade along with it, or yeah, it was all about making fun and mocking their way of going about things.
Okay.
And what I was
Okay.
talking about is Camboulay in Trinidad, where they still have this right now where they reenact the Camboulay riots, which is where they started celebrating with torches. But this stems from, and I send you this, right? You remember
Yeah.
this. And it stems from they used to burn off the sugarcane plantations. And after the enslaved people became free, they would reenact this. They would light the cane on fire and start partying around with it. And eventually the white people didn't like that because, they were aggressive and afraid they would ruin everything and all that stuff. So they stopped them.
So the
And
meaning, the meaning to us back then for carnival is totally different from what it is now. You're saying, right?
yes, yes, everywhere in the Caribbean, if you look at how Carnival started, it was always about resistance.
Yeah.
Resistance, mockery, celebrating the blackness and the strength and celebrating the culture that they did have.
Well, except for Jamaica though,
Yeah. Here it's
because
different. Yeah, tell me about Jamaica.
carnival was introduced to Jamaica in the 1990s. Um, yeah, in the 1990s by I think there's a popular soca group from Trinidad
Yeah.
called Byron Lee and the Dragonaires. I think they were the one who introduced carnival to Jamaica, and it was always for us like just dance and festivities and costumes and stuff like that. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
it was never about resistance for us.
Yet the origin is still, even
The
though
origin,
the origin is still, yeah.
remained the same. Yeah, it remains the
And
same.
this is what I found interesting too, right? Because for Curacao too, it's only been here for about 50 years.
But it has been around in the Caribbean
For
for the past
longer.
for way longer than that.
Yeah. Yeah. To the
Yeah.
point that there's only a handful of Caribbean islands that don't have some sort of version of Carnival. And also, like, it has different names, like obviously I talked about crop over in Barbados. There's Jacquemus in Bahamas, um,
Bacchanal in Jamaica,
Bacchanal in Jamaica, Batabano in the Cayman Islands, um, Carnival in Haiti. So yeah, it has different names in different places. Sugar Mass in St. Kitts and Nevis, Vincy
Sugar Ma-
Mass for the Vincent, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So yeah, I think that's also a very interesting way. Because by the way, here too, like if I say it in English, I'll say carnival, but in Papiamento, it's carnaval. Because we don't
in,
speak English as our native language.
oh, Papamento is
Yeah.
is the sounding is similar.
It sounds the same. But you don't say carnival, you say carnaval.
Carnaval,
Carnaval.
carnaval,
And
carnaval.
faster we say carnaval.
Okay, so yeah, for us, like I mean, like the videos you shared, I mean, like the costumes. I think the costumes, man, they're like, and it's even now. I think it's
Hmm.
well, I don't think I know. It's commercialized. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
So people make, and it's a year-long thing. For the celebration is like for a couple of weeks. You
Hmm.
understand? But it's a year-long journey where thoughts and ideas have to go into it for costumes and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
the journey reaches its boiling peak like yeah for like in the roundabout the Easter season
Yeah.
Easter season, but the journey begins longer than that. And so um dark side, do you think that there's a dark side, like even in modern times now to Carnival,
I think
like beyond.
everything has a light and a dark side, period. Now, I feel like for me, because I've only been taught the dark side, and also with a very false narrative, I'm kind of stuck in only seeing the light side of Carnival, to be honest,
Okay.
and the party side, which is, I think, interesting too, because now that I know more that it has to do with resistance, which is my thing, I'm all about resistance and a good rebellion.
A good rebellion is good.
Yes, I like a good rebellion. I'm like, it makes it even more important to me, even though maybe the history of Carnival in Curacao in particular is not tied the same way as it is in some other Caribbean islands. I'm like, this is resistance. This is us being in our joy, celebrating our joy, which the former colonizers try to break down at every way they can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, even the reason why we have steel pan, mostly in Trinidad, but you have it all around the Caribbean, is because drums were banned everywhere in the Caribbean at some point. Like the French had something called Code Noir, where they would it was like the slave conduct or the slave rules for the enslaved people.
Mm.
And in there was a section that said you can drum. At least that's what I understood.
You can or couldn't.
You couldn't. You can't use drums because like
Okay.
drums were seen as barbaric and violent and that type of thing. So then the Trinis went around and created the steel drum because they couldn't beat on like skin
Natural
drums.
job,
So they
job
did
there.
their own thing, right? Like steel drums are resistance, period.
So far what you're saying, from what I'm getting from you, your dark side story, well, yeah, it has its roots in colonialism, hence, hence we taking it or using it as a form of resistance,
Yeah. Yeah.
so for me, um, and when I say dark side, I mean, like when you think about it's like a huge party from the masquerades in Mardi Gras to the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
um, um, excessive alcohol abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usage and substance abuse. Um, you have like sexual harassment and assault. These things take happen, you understand? You have
Mm-hmm.
there was an incident in Jamaica. I don't remember back when. I think it's in the 90s though. Where there was a murder, there was a police shooting and someone died and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that and so on. Then you have, what about cultural appropriation, right?
Oh
What
yeah.
about what about um yeah, the commercialization of an event, you understand, like who benefits? What about
Yeah.
just even the pollution after, like who like the citizens, working citizens have to pay, you understand, because the city would have to take care of cleaning up like messes and stuff like that. So like the dark side, when I said dark side, I mean like you are right, because if you have to go back to the origin, you
Mm-hmm.
understand, and so we use that as resistance. But in modern time, like these are happening, you understand? And
Yeah.
so yeah, we can party, we can have fun, we can, but then we still have to be mindful of, you know, like there's a cost for everything.
Yeah.
Just think about it. You go to a bacchanal event to have fun and stuff like that, and some got it like steal a chain or steal a purse, and then
Mm-hmm.
shots fired, and you end up just losing it. So there's like you have to be mindful of just everything, because as you said, there's light and darkness to in every situation. You understand?
Yeah. I see it though as I don't see it as Carnival is the cause of these things. I feel like Carnival is more of a magnifier. right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
all the all the great people come out because the Caribbean is full of incredible people, but also the thieves and the people with not so good,
So too, with bad
they also
intention.
come out, right? Like if the people are used to throwing things on the ground and the pollution and all them things, when it comes to this, they're gonna do it and they're doing it in the masses because everybody's on the street in those times. So I feel like if we look at the dark and the light side, I feel like Carnival, because of its power, because it's so many people gathered, because it's like so many people like in one accord, if you could say it that way, you see both the full light of the celebration, the resistance, the beauty, the creativity, the arts, the theatrics, the quality of the music. Like, let's not leave that part out.
Yeah.
You see all of that on one side, but on the other side, there's also the magnification of the things of whatever country you're in that aren't that great.
And
And the
even for
crime
and
specifically,
the
you
crimes,
know,
yeah. But even in Jamaica, like there's like systematic inequalities, right?
hmm
Because all right, you know, reggae music
everywhere
and dance.
though, like let's be clear.
But I think,
But
but
yeah,
like you know, I'm speaking from like
from your
I don't
experience.
know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, and it happens, you know, like dancehall reggae music, like and carnival in Jamaica is a rich man's game, right?
yeah.
Only
Yeah, of
the
course.
rich put that shit on, okay? So say for example, I'm a local promoter. I'm putting on a dancehall event and stuff like that. Like we have to get like permits to play and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So it would be like say from 12 in the night, so 10 p.m. to like 5 a.m. in the morning, right?
Hmm.
Carnival goes from day till day. You understand?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that there is no shutting off. There is no because it's a rich man game. So the inequality, like it brings
Yeah.
out that prejudice and and so to me, I put that in the dark category to darkness.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah. But again, it's a magnifier aspect of things, right? Because I was even looking at it and I know that the costumes and the stuff, in order to participate in Carnival here, it's coming up to 1,000 US
Serious money.
for like a little costume, you know? And also like the way it is here, because I've seen in other islands you could just like walk and join a group and you buy your own costumes and stuff. Here you can't do that. You gotta, there's a group, that group has a band, it has trailers with like toilets and bars and rest areas on it, and obviously like the beautiful trailers with like the displays and all that, and everybody in that group wears the costumes that they pay for to be in that group, right? Everybody wears basically the same thing. There's different categories of costumes that you can buy. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive. Like it starts at around 800 to 1,000 US dollars. um And then if you want something custom, then then you're paying at least 3,000 US for those things,
Wow, wow,
right? And so,
wow.
and you get two parades with that. You get the day parade and the night parade. Um, so not just anybody, like there are people that their whole thing is saving for Carnival. Like people that don't have a lot of money, they save all their money and that's like their highlight of the year. Just like some people go on vacations.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, if you can't afford food, obviously you can't afford 1,000 US dollars to go party.
Obviously, the people will save. You know, if you're a carnival person, you'll save for that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about people that don't have food. Like if you can't even afford your food, you don't have you're living day to day on just food, trying to get
Yeah.
food. There is no saving for
Okay. Yeah.
Carnival.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So yeah, obviously
It's a
everybody
huge,
can
it's a
save,
huge, it's a huge
but
money. It's so much for a costume shade. Three, it can go up to 3,000 US.
yeah, even more
And
than
or
that.
okay, so those costume then when you buy a costume like that for, and as I said, it's a rich man's game.
Yeah.
It's a rich man's party. But what they do with those costumes at the end of at Carnival?
Some people have a room where they keep all their costumes.
Gee, so
I'm not
can they
kidding.
and they repeat those costumes the following year or they don't repeat?
No, you can't. Also, like some of these costumes, oftentimes they break or they won't fit anymore. It's like a, um, it- no, you can't. Nobody uses it the following year. They do give it away to like some people use them for decoration. So you'll see on Facebook people asking like, does anybody have old carnival costumes that I can use for decorations? But yeah, it's one parade, two parades and you're done.
So yeah, Carnival it's a regional thing, right? Like the
Yeah,
Caribbean celebrates it and so as I said, the Dungeon is a regional podcast.
yeah,
So I think this was important for us to do. Like and I hope like we could shine some light on something. I mean, if we was thinking about Carnival and its origin and stuff like that, believe me, we aren't the only one doing that. You
true.
understand? Like other people doing that too. And so this would be like just a way to shine a little light on some of these stuff. Because I didn't know
Yeah.
if you never brought it to my attention, I didn't know that it was for us different in meaning because we celebrating freedom. You understand?
Hmm.
We celebrating freedom.
Yeah.
So 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 now I look at Carnival as in a different light, but like I think that it drift from the meaning too. You understand? As you said earlier, like no, it's become like a more of a money thing. You know, it's more of
Mm-hmm.
a party and just a money thing, and the essence, the reason why we did this in the first place is totally different from what it is now,
Yeah.
and that's in the dark category again because we have to stay true to traditions. You know, we have to stay true to origins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And also, like, I feel like throughout the Caribbean, there's also a sellout thing happening. I think this happens in all
big time,
areas, but
big time,
like, but
big time,
we sell out way too much. Like sometimes
big
we're
time.
way too welcoming to other cultures and way too welcoming to different people, and that ruins the tradition, right?
Yeah, big time
And
sell out
another
about.
thing that I would say too is I shared some facts and some things that I researched. I am no expert in Carnival. Like I researched because I thought it was interesting. But after researching too, I have a deeper appreciation for it.
Yeah,
And
likewise.
there is even a chance that I'll walk along next year because I'm like, or I will for sure in my lifetime. I don't know for sure next year, depending on the plans and stuff. But I'm like, I'm eager now to join and be a part of it and be a part of the celebration.
Well, I saw you in one of those videos. They show the bacchanal, bacchanal, bacchanal.
Hale Jackie.
Harley
Hale
Jack.
Jaya. Hale Jackie. Dugu dugu du 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 dugu dugu. Hey?
What a girl can wine.
Yeah. I am from the Caribbean. I do have those hips, the backside.
The back-
You remember how do you say ass in Papiamento?
oh, they say ass.
Yeah. Remember, like the guy from Cool Runnings.
Oh shit! You told me the other day now. I don't remember shit.
Sanka.
Sanka.
There's Sanka coffee too.
I'm not drinking that coffee, shit. no, no Sanka coffee, Ross.
There's a brand called Sanka. But then again, also, you know what how you say clap your hands in Papiamentu, right?
Batty man.
Yes.
You know
Yep.
what they call you know what they call Batty man in Jamaica, right?
Yeah, you know, I've learned. First time a Jamaican asked me, "How do you say clap your hands?" I told him, and he started running around saying, "No, don't say that." I'm like,
you,
"Yes, you
you,
do."
you almost you almost lost your life, you know. Call the man Batty man.
I didn't call him, I called the thing. But it's so funny because I can
Georgia.
understand that that's what it means, but it will never have those depths of cruelty to me because it's not my language, you know?
Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
always be just clap your hands or oh yeah, that's what Jamaicans call gay.
Man, Batty man. So, so what say you?
What say I?
Yes.
I will say,
You're
um,
the moderator, the moderator. Can't, you can't see. Sure. Sure,
I
you
would
almost
end
lost
with this. I would want people listening to ask about what carnival experience you have and what you've learned about carnival, either from
and
this
what it means.
episode or anything. Yeah, what it means to you. And we're going to ask this question on Spotify because you can answer things there on Spotify, but some people are not as diverse with Spotify. We also have YouTube now, so you can listen to the episode on YouTube. Um, and you can leave your comment there. Like, what's your carnival experience? What does it mean to you? And what have you learned from it? And last
Yes.
thing is we want to leave with is we're still like debating some topics that we want to talk about next. And we have some things that in mind. One is music, how music affects our day-to-day life in the Caribbean, parenthood, like how we've been parented and how parenting happens in the Caribbean, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
And we've also, you're not keen about this, but I really want to watch the One Love a movie and talk about it.
I will watch the movie. I just need the time, and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
time to do that. But yeah, that's another one.
You a
We
busy
can't.
bee.
I've been busy, and so yes,
Yeah, so those are some of the ideas that we've thought about. Music, parenthood, One Love music movie. Let us know which one you want us to talk about. I'll create a poll on Spotify. On YouTube, you'll just have to let us know in the comments.
yes.
Yeah.
And once again, we thank you guys, our subscribers. How much we had now? 19?
Yeah, 19 subscribers.
19 subscribers. We thank you guys for just your support. We thank the listeners. I understand, and we thank you. Please comment and give us your feedback. And yeah,
Yes.
we value those. We value those.
Yeah, we're creating a community and
Uh,
this is powerful.
it is.
Alrighty, people. That's it. Have a great rest of your day, night, or afternoon. See you on episode 4. Bye bye.
And don't clap your hands.
Batimang.
All right.